It's to the point where we're controlling it, but barely, and this is ongoing. At any one time, we have about 130 people in here on psychotropic drugs, and half of them are seriously mentally ill. Most of them are under control, but they're drug-induced control. A lot of their mental illness is alcohol and drug-induced, but the only way we can control them through our medical staff is to put them under some sort of medication, calm them down, get them back where they're thinking rationally, and then they're released.
Did you say the percentage-wise it's what?
I would say 40% of our population, and we usually have over 600 inmates in here at any one time. 16,000 a year come through the Summit County Jail booking window. So I would say 40% have mental illness issues, and half of that 40% has serious mental illness.
Now, are drug and alcohol dependency included in that, or
Yes.
is that separate?
No,
Okay,
it's
so when you
included.
say mental health, you mean
Yeah.
either mentally ill or drug chemical dependency?
Yeah,
Okay,
right.
gotcha. You're taking the unusual step of threatening, I guess is the word, to not take them?
Yeah, threatening might not be the word, but I can't think of another one. We take these people in, and we've even taken mentally disabled people that have been sent here who have acted out of control at their group homes, and the group homes couldn't control them, and so we're kind of the timeout place for them. They put them in Summit County Jail for weeks, and we're not taking mentally disabled people now. We've stopped that. They're going to have to find out another outlet to if they can't control these people. The ones that have mental illness that are coming in, we are seriously considering. We have what we call a frequent flyer list. We have about 60 of these people that they come in. We get them back on their meds. They're released. They get off their meds. They act out. They're arrested by local PD, and they're brought back to the jail. And then we have to put up with them again. Some of these people are violent. Some of them have no control over what they're doing, and they shouldn't be in a jail atmosphere. All we can do to them, the most we can help them is get them back on their meds, but sometimes we have to take these people who are sick and out of control, and we put them in 4-point restraints. We tie them down to a bed until they start acting where we can control them again, where they're not a danger to themselves or to my staff. These people eat their own feces. They cover windows and walls with feces. The deputies have to go in and restrain these people. And as one of my deputies said to me, we don't clean these uniforms, we burn them. And it's just getting to the point where we are a dumping ground. Local police departments will tell you, and all of them understand what we're going through. They're kind of glad it's us and not them, but they understand that what the jail's going through. My responsibility, I have a responsibility to this community, and that's to help keep these people off the streets. Most mayors and most chiefs understand what we're trying to do. They don't want me to do it because there's no place else to take these people if the hospitals won't take them. There's nowhere else. They'll have to take them back to their local jurisdictions and maybe get them on some sort of meds back there. So I don't want to do this to the street cop out there who's going to be stuck with these individuals, but it's come down to the point I have an obligation to my deputies to make sure that they don't have to put up with this.
Can you legally refuse?
Yes. Yes, I can. Anybody, it's like an inmate coming in with a wound, an open wound on his head, and we won't take them. We'll make the arresting agency take them to the hospital, get it sutured or whatever, get a release from the hospital before we take him into the jail. I see there's no difference in this. Now, I know that doctor can say he's a malingerer, or they can do a lot of things to block my efforts because they don't want to. Nobody wants these people if they can't pay. The bottom line is if they can't pay, put them in the jail. And I'm tired of being a dumping ground.
Well, you're talking about them being violent and being dangerous, and at the same time, letting them loose on the streets, turning them away from you. That isn't going to sit well with people in the general public.
Right, and we're doing an educational thing. We're trying. We need to wake up our community. I speak to grand juries every 6 weeks. They come. They have to tour the jail by law, and I bring this up, and most of them are completely ignorant of it. Nobody's exposed this to them since the government decided to deinstitutionalize these people. Now we criminalize them by putting them in jail. But when we're getting this word out and we're meeting with ministers around Summit County, and we're gaining a strong base there, and all I want them to do, I don't want them to raise money, I want them to educate their congregations to what is going on, this medieval process that we have at jails, not just Summit County Jail, but jails across the country. We are basically an insane asylum, and we're not jails anymore. We're running places for people who are mentally ill.
What are you going to do as far as timing on this? I mean, as soon as when might you start this procedure of potentially refusing?
We're looking at it, well, we almost look at it every day that something comes up, and I shake my head and I meet with Chief James and we talk about doing it. I don't want to put myself on a time limit with it. I'm hoping somebody waves that magic wand. I don't know if it's the courts, if it's the ADM board. Somebody has got to come in and start helping us. We are, through budget cuts, my mental health help here at the jail was cut years ago. And we don't have the psychiatric help here that we had 7, 8 years ago. We don't have the counseling for these people that we had here 7, 8 years ago. And I've been told it's not going to come. So I don't know what the answer is. I know we don't have magic money that we can throw into this here, but I am going to make the community aware of what's going on, and then and hopefully the community, it is what it is then. And if the community wants to live like this and they want this to continue to exist, if they want to put their head in the sand and say, well, that's the sheriff's problem, then I failed at getting this out. But they're going to know what's going on in this jail. This is we're just to the point where we're at the breaking point of morale with the deputies putting up with this.
Where do you want them to go?
I think they should be put into, the old days we had Fallsview. I know if they have to be under arrest, we need a secure facility, and if we have to put law enforcement officers in there to guard these people, I understand that. But we need 7/24 medical help there all the time. I want somebody there right now that can come in and work with these people. I want counseling for them. I want those mental health people at the booking window when they come through that door. I want them to be right there, right then. I want that taken care of now. I don't want to wait 2, 3 days.
Do you want the mental health professionals to come to you, or
yes.
do you want them to leave the jail and go somewhere else? Either way?
Well, either way, if they want us to take care of them, I want more of a commitment from the Mental Health Society.
But it's not on your budget, though.
That's not my budget. It's not in their budget.
Right,
so,
that's the problem, isn't it? No one has the money, or probably the space, or the personnel.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And then we're going to have to live with this, and we're kidding ourselves if we don't think there's another Mark McCullough going to happen, that somebody's going to go through who was seriously mentally ill and died in this jail, and the pure hell that we went through with that there, with 5 deputies being falsely indicted. It was just a perfect storm of a mess, but we had to go through that. It cost hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Are there any specific incidents from 2011 that have happened that are concerning to you with mental health?
No, it's almost, it's sad because it's almost routine what we go through with the mental health. We always have somebody down there that's screaming, yelling, waiting for the meds to kick in. As I said, 130 people on psychotropic drugs. You're always dealing with something on an everyday basis. Our officers receive a lot of training. We call it crisis intervention training to deal with these people, and we're trying to get 100% of that done, and we will someday. But it's not enough. We're trained. Our officers are trained, but we're still not medical people. They're law enforcement officers.
Some crimes you think don't belong here, examples of crimes.
Yeah, well, of our frequent flyers that I spoke about, you'll see them come through. A lot of them just are disruptive. They go back to their communities. They can't get along. They get off their meds. They can't get along with family members or anybody. They go out on the streets. We see them on the streets every day. A lot of them are homeless. They start to act up. Maybe they might be begging, or they just become disruptive. They become angry. And then a police officer gets involved. The police officer has no choice because the subject doesn't give him a choice. He has to take him. And where's he going to go? Well, bring him to Summit County Jail. And then we take him. And then we go through what I've explained. They go through our procedures, and then eventually end up in a small cell strapped down to a bed.